Every time I look at someone, in my mind, I see flashes of images of me killing them. When I was 10, I thought about and plotted about killing the woman that my mother left my father.
What was your plan?
To slaughter her. I don't feel sympathy for other people. I'm all.
In April 2013, Claudia Maupin and Oliver "Chip" Northup were brutally killed in Davis, California, a college town that was mostly safe. The elderly couple who loved each other was killed in their bedroom. The way they were killed shocked the community and the police. So, let's find out more about this case, shall we? Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Claudia Maupin was a 76-year-old grandmother who was loved by everyone and was involved in the Unitarian Church in Davis. She and her husband did enjoy life to the fullest as much as she can with her families and friends. They did not meet early enough in life, but they made the most of it and loved each other to the fullest. Oliver "Chip" Northup, an 87-year-old lawyer, musician, and founding member of that church, was where she met him. He had lost his wife and was a grandfather. Chip had served in World War II and then went on to become a lawyer. The first year they knew each other, 1996, they fell in love and got married. When the couple didn't show up to church on April 14, 2013, there were some worries. Chip himself did not show up with his band to play that day. Neither of them had answered their phones. When a family member drove to their house, she saw that the window screen had been cut and that there was blood inside. The police were called, and when they got there, they found a horrifying scene in the bedroom. The dead bodies of Claudia and Chip were found in their bed. Chip was cut 61 times, while Claudia was cut 67 times. The bodies were also cut open, and inside Chip's stomach they found a drinking glass, and inside Claudia's stomach they found a cell phone. Some of the organs in their bodies were also taken out.
A teenage boy from Davis is headed to trial for the murders of an elderly couple in their home. KCRA 3's David Beanick is live at the Yolo County Courthouse, where a judge ruled this afternoon there is enough evidence against the teen to take the next step. David?
Lisa, good evening. The evidence at today's preliminary hearing here in Woodland was hard to square with the image of a boy who just a few years ago was praised as a hero for saving his father from a heart attack. The details today were graphic and gruesome, and so we should warn you for some viewers.
At first, the police didn't know what to do because the killer had left no clues at the scene. No DNA, fingerprints, or tracks were found. The house also didn't seem to be missing anything. The FBI was also brought in, and after about 2 months of looking into the case, they got a big break. No one saw this coming after chasing no leads for a couple of months. As the police kept asking the neighbors questions and looking for possible suspects, they got a hint about who the killer was. But it was hard to believe the information. A high school student who was 17 years old called 911 and said he knew who killed the couple.
Davis, police emergency.
Can this be anonymous?
What are you reporting?
Double homicide that happened at April.
You're reporting that, or you have information regarding that?
I have information regarding that.
What are you calling to report, sir?
The double homicide that happened in April this year.
What can you tell me about that?
Everything, actually. Daniel Marsh.
Daniel Marsh?
Yeah, Daniel Marsh or Dan Marsh. He cut open the stomach of both the people, and he put a phone in the woman and a cup in the guy. The reason why I want to remain anonymous is because if my mom finds out, she will send me to military school.
He said that the murderer was his best friend, 15-year-old Daniel Marsh, and that Marsh had told him about what he had done on the night of April 13, 2013. He was brought in by the police to give a full detail report on his friend.
Killing people a lot. I didn't really take it seriously until, killed someone. He cut both of them open. It's just to see the insides or something. And then he went to the woman, I think, and he wanted to know how an eye looked like. They tried taking it out with a knife, but he said it was really hard, so he couldn't do it.
Why did it take you until now to speak to us?
Because, I don't know, actually. I was afraid.
Daniel Marsh's childhood was full of ups and downs. After having an affair with another lady, his mother left his father when he was approximately 10 years old. Over time, he had started to feel sad, so he was given medicine to help.
Every time I look at someone, in my mind, I see flashes of images of me killing them. When I was 10, I thought about and plotted about killing the woman that my mother left my father. What was your plan? To slit her throat.
Daniel started drinking and smoking pot when he was a teenager. In 2011, he was also treated for anorexia. Daniel said he had been thinking about killing people for a while, but it wasn't until he told his counselor about it in late 2012 that police were called to the school.
I was that loner kid that, there's always that one outcast.
Dad and mom split when you were pretty young?
Yeah.
Wow. And then mom basically left, abandoned you or your family?
Yeah, for like 3 or 4 months. I used to, harm myself.
I see his car too there, yeah.
Daniel was taken to the hospital, and his medicine was changed. The same thing happened when he talked about wanting to kill himself and torturing and killing people around him in early 2013. The police officer who talked to Daniel then decided that he did not pose a threat to himself or anyone else, so nothing was done. But Daniel went through with the murder in April of that year. Daniel was caught in June 2013 after a friend who he had told about the murders called 911. Initially, when he was being questioned, he denied having anything to do with the murders.
Yeah,
Chris. Yeah.
nice to meet you.
What do you know, Dan?
I just know that somebody broke into this old couple's house and stabbed them, killed them. I don't hurt people.
Why are you ruining my life? Why should I?
I'm not ruining your life. I'm trying to solve a homicide, a double homicide. And if you do it, I understand, and I am there for you to try to make other people understand, because I see it.
I need help.
Okay. That's the first step.
But when they pushed him, he told them the truth. For 5 hours, he told them about his life and talked in great detail about the
You just
murders.
sit here and ball this lie to everyone with me.
You guys are threatening me with
What? The truth?
getting arrested for 2 murders. I am so scared right now. Of course, I'm gonna do anything I can to try and say that I didn't do this. If you want to help me, then don't ruin my life. Anything, send me to the psychiatric hospital. Every time I look at someone, in my mind, I see flashes of images of me killing them.
When was the first time you started thinking about killing these people down the street?
I didn't.
Did you start thinking about it?
That night, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to do it. I lost control. On the screen, climbed in through the back, went to their bedroom, I opened the door, and I just kind of stood over their bed watching them sleep for a few minutes. My body was trembling. I was nervous but excited and exhilarated. I was actually going to do it. I was there. It was finally happening. I opened both of their torsos, around here, and in the woman I put a phone inside of her, and I put a cup inside the guy.
Daniel said that on the night of the murders, he gave in to the desire to kill that he had had for years, and after leaving his mother's house, he went looking for someone to kill. He was carrying a 6-inch buck knife. His father's house was only 2 houses away from where Claudia and Chip lived. Then Daniel went to their bedroom and watched them for a few minutes while he decided what he was going to do.
I'm not gonna lie, it felt amazing. The most exhilarating, enjoyable feeling I've ever felt. It was pure happiness and adrenaline and dopamine, just all of it rushing over me.
You mentioned that pretty much everybody you meet, you have thoughts about how you would kill them.
Yeah.
So, how would you kill me?
There's a lot of ways. Choking you to death with your tie.
Okay.
beating your face into the mirror until it broke and using the glass to cut your arteries, gouging your eyes out and smashing your face into the wall. It's nothing personal.
Did you ever look up on a computer and do research on psychopaths?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I looked up sociopath and psychopath because I always found it fascinating, and the more I've aged, the more I can relate, because I don't feel sympathy for other people at all. I don't feel empathy for them, and whether I like that or not, it's the way it is. It's just like, I want to hurt people, I want to kill people, but I don't want to want that. I wish it wasn't that way.
Daniel said that he had put those things inside the bodies to throw off the police. Later, the police found bloody clothes, shoes with taped soles, which is how he didn't leave any footprints, and the murder weapon at his mother's house. He even said that in the days that followed, he went out on the street with a baseball bat to kill someone but couldn't find anyone. Daniel was put in jail for killing Claudia and Chip. In September 2014, he went to court.
And right now we're getting our first look at the 16-year-old accused of murdering an elderly couple in Davis. Prosecutors say the man there with the tie, Daniel Marsh, hid in the couple's home, waiting for them and then torturing them in their final hours.
16-year-old Daniel Marsh stood before the court through a side doorway, shielded from view of the public, including his father and friends who were in court. Marsh provided one-word answers as he waived his right to a preliminary hearing within 10 days. The judge denied him bail, and relatives of the victims could be heard whispering yes in agreement.
The defense said he did what he did because of the depression medicine he was taking, but the prosecution told the jury to pay attention to how well he planned and to the other witnesses. Daniel was tried as an adult and found guilty. Daniel Marsh said he wasn't guilty because he was crazy. But the jury thought he was sane and found him guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder, plus extra punishments for using a deadly weapon, killing more than one person, waiting for them, and torturing them. He got 25 years to life in prison for each murder count, plus an extra 2 years for the enhancements.
One to death. After the hearing, Marsh's family and friends declined to comment. The daughter of the victims wept as she was led away.
I think it's really just a tragedy, and that's all we can do.
But in 2016, a new law called Proposition 57 went into effect. It said that a case involving a minor would be decided by a juvenile court instead of an adult court. Also, it was decided that the law could be used in the past, so Daniel's case was looked at again.
17-year-old Daniel Marsh, shown here during his trial in September, will get a chance to fight for a lighter sentence. The family of the elderly Davis couple he's accused of killing learned that today.
We want to see the defendant off the streets. We want to see him never secure freedom from incarceration for the rest of his life.
In October of the same year, a judge decided that Daniel should serve the rest of his sentence. He is still locked up at the Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego, California, according to prison records. In June 2037, he will be able to get out of jail.